Well, thank you for inviting me to come. And I want to tell you just a little bit about this site. It's known as the racetrack, and it was opened in 1949 by the Cavalier Kennel Club in Virginia. After really, if you look at their history, they were literally forced out because of the gambling and the other things that were going on. They moved across the border, which is something that a lot of people do. And I know that some of you are moving in from Chesapeake, and I'd like to say welcome to you to the county. We're glad to have you and look forward to your contributions that you'll make to our county. Well, after they were forced down here, the racetrack was built. The bleachers were built by a man by the name of Will Snowden. I know you made the comment of the Snowdens being around everywhere. He also had the job of maintaining the buildings and all around there, the bleachers and the dog boxes. The dog boxes seemed to be the most interesting thing. They were transportable. There were 8 dogs to a box, and there were 8 dog boxes and 8 races. And the dog boxes had a person who was hired, a local person was hired to look after each dog. And then after the race was over, a lot of the children in the area got jobs to walk the dogs. Somebody had to walk the dogs for 45 minutes after a race so that their legs would not tighten up. And so this was a good source of economic development for Currituck County. And I'll tell you how much of a advantage it was at the very end. Gambling abound. Business people were given gold passes. And Josh, remember that gold pass I showed you to the dog club? Well, I went to the store, my store next door to my house, to get it, and my daughter had appropriated it because she thought it was interesting. But there was a little gold pass that any businessman here in the county was given that allowed him to come into the dog track after hours or get in. Now, you had to be 21 to get in. If you were under 21, you could stand outside and look through the fence. That was allowed. Now, one of the things that happened, the track was open from Monday through Saturday, 8 to 11 p.m. It opened the 1st of May, so this is an appropriate time to talk about this site, and it ended the 1st of December. It is said that you could not get on the roads between 6 and 8 o'clock going either way because there was that much traffic. There were at times where as many as 20,000 people on this property. Now, the biggest bet that I could find, or that anybody would admit that they won, that I talked to, was $700. And most bets were like $2. And then they had a person who was your actual individual bookie that you went up to and made your bets at that time. On Saturday night, the average take home was $120,000.
Wow.
Average. Now, I can't back this up with data and facts and things like this. These are things that people have told me when I've interviewed them. On a slow night, which was Monday night, the average take was right around $65,000. Now, it was put in bags, and on Saturday night, a 49 Ford pickup truck, scruffy looking, rusty, was filled with bags of money. And they never lost a single bag. And that was because of woman power. Because sitting and guarding those bags was an older lady with a semi-automatic machine gun. So she made it very quickly back to the bag. And we even have to talk a little bit about government to regulate the racing that was going on at this time. Currituck County had its own racing commission. They had to appoint the racing commission to make sure everything was done on the up and up. And one of the ironic things about this particular racetrack was that the lawyer who got it here was a man by the name of Frank Aycock. The lawyer who got rid of it was a lawyer by the name of Frank Aycock. He got paid to get it here, and then he got paid to get rid of it. When the churches started complaining very strongly about it. When the dog track closed, the amount of taxes that the property owners here in Currituck County paid went up 60%. Afterwards, they had car races. They had they used to bring people in, Earnhardt being probably the most famous one, and they didn't actually take part in the racing. They just drove around the track a couple times and let everybody see them as the celebrities.
Richard Petty's been here.
Yeah, Richard Petty. They also have horse racing, if you can imagine. After the dog track closed, it was used as a horse racing track, and was a normal place for people to say, "Oh, you need to go to see so and so. It's beyond the dog track, or it's down below the dog track." So you have a very, very recognizable name, place as a marker in Currituck County history for people my age and a little bit younger. So thank you very much for letting me tell you a little bit about the history of the dog track, and I hope you will be encouraged to learn some more about Currituck County history, and I would like to invite you at any time to come join our Historical Society, and our programs are open to the public, and we love to see new faces. Thank you.